This morning, I was asked a question. And the question was, did the child tax credit increase to $7,200 per child? And the reason I was asked this question is because there are certain news media outlets out there putting it as their headline. They're saying, hey, the child tax credit is now going to be $7,200 per child. And while that's not 100% true, it's also not 100% wrong. And I'll explain why after this. What is going on, family? It's your favorite Uncle Cousin Tyrone Gregory, the self-employed tax guy, here to kind of shed a little light on these misleading headlines that some of these media outlets have put out there about the child tax credit increasing up to $7,200 per child. And like I said, now, although it is misleading, there is some possible truth, I guess we could say, to that. And I am going to do my best to kind of break it down and share with you how they are able to kind of say that in their titles or headlines. But before we get into that, in order for you to fully understand how we arrived at this 7,200 and how this things came to be in the headlines, we first need to understand a little bit of the history of the child tax credit. Now, as a full disclaimer, I'm not about to go into the full tax law details and things like that. When it comes to the child tax credit, there's a lot of things to consider: filing status, your adjusted gross income, phase outs, and things. There's a lot of things to consider. I'm just going to give a basic overview of how the $7,200 headline came into play. All right, so let's get started again with a little bit of history of the child tax credit. So for those of you who have been around long enough and you filed enough tax return and you had children, you knew that the child tax credit was only worth up to $2,000 per child under the age of 17. And if your situation permitted, you can actually get up to $1,400 of that per child refunded to you. Then comes the American Rescue Plan Act, and that act upgraded the child tax credit. Under the American Rescue Plan Act, the child tax credit increased from $2,000 per eligible child to $3,000 per eligible child between the ages of 6 and 17. And for children 5 and under, it went to $3,600. And also, remember I said before, under the original plan, you can only get up to $1,400 of that refunded to you if your situation qualified. But under the American Rescue Plan Act, that went away. The child tax credit then became fully refundable, meaning that if your situation fit, you can get up to, again, depending on the child, $3,600 as a refund. Plus, as an added bonus to this marvelous upgrade, Americans who qualified also had the option to receive a portion of this credit in advance before they filed their actual taxes. And they were able to do this via 6 months of monthly payments starting in July of 2021. And whatever they didn't collect from the period of July 2021 through December 2021, they will be able to get their remaining balance on their taxes when they actually file their 2021 tax returns. Now comes in Biden's Build Back Better plan. We'll call it the BBB.
Now that's a triple B.
Or the triple B. Under Biden's Build Back Better plan, and again, before I go on, let me state this. That plan is just, as of the recording of this video, is just a proposal. It has not been signed into law. It is not taking effect. So that means things could change between now and then. However, under this plan, what is proposed is why we're seeing this $7,200. Now, to be clear, Biden's Build Back Better plan does not increase the child tax credit to $7,200, but the stipulations that are outlined in this plan could allow taxpayers to effectively see $7,200 worth of child tax credits in 1 year. And what I'm going to do is use my Remarkable, and I'm going to share my screen here. And if you don't have Remarkable, you're missing out. I'm going to share my screen to kind of break down how that works. So let's take a look. All right, so to understand how Biden's tax plan works, we have to take a look at the current tax year, 2021, and the tax year that will be coming up, tax year 2022. So remember, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 increased the child tax credit to, to $3,600. And this $3,600 is for children that are 5 and under, but we're going to use this number because that is the maximum. So remember, also under the American Rescue Plan Act, Americans that qualified was able to take some of that credit advance up front between July and December of this year in the form of actually monthly payments. Now, what happened was, if they didn't take advantage of that, if they opted out, because again, it was an option, if the American who qualified opted out when they filed their 2021 tax return in the tax year 2022, they are going to receive the full amount. So it's possible, again, if they did not take advantage of the $3,600 payments or some of those payments in 2021, it's going to carry over until when they file their tax year in 2022. So it's possible that someone who had the option, but again, did not take advantage of that option, to when they file their taxes in 2022 for tax year 2021, they're going to see $3,600 on their tax return. Now, here's where things get interesting. Under Biden's new proposal, he's going to expand the child tax credit, okay? He's going to keep it at this maximum because it was set to expire at the end of 2021. It was going to go back down to the 2000. But under Biden's plan, he's going to expand it to keep it at its current rate at the max of $3,600. Plus, instead of getting it advanced 6 months, under Biden's proposal, you can get an advance for it for the entire 12 months. So you can get an additional $3,600 for that year. But then this one, so this is going to be 2023. But this credit here, if you take all of it here in 2022, you will in 2023 have 0 credit to claim. But consider these two numbers here is what's going to give us the $7,200. So that's how it's possible to get $7,200 in tax year 2022 under Biden's new proposal. But again, let's look at this. If you don't take, because here we are in November, if you did not take any of the advanced child tax credits and you file your taxes next year, again, you're going to get the full amount next year. And then if Biden plan takes effect, you're also going to be eligible to get another advance in that same year. So it's possible you can double up. But remember, it's an advance. So that means in the following year, in 2023, you won't get nothing. Right? So yes, it's possible effectively, if that scenario plays out the way that we just saw it here, it's possible that somebody could get $7,200. But like I said, Biden's plan is not increasing the child tax credit to $7,200. Sorry, folks. All right, family, there you have it. Hopefully that cleared up a lot of the information about the $7,200. Remember, it's possible, but it's all about timing. It's all about if your situation applies, and it's all about planning, right? Because let's say you do take advantage of the additional $3,600 if, keyword, if Biden's triple B plan does take effect. then that means, in the following year, if nothing changes, well, you won't have access to anything. And so that's something that you want to consider. Again, get with your tax professional. Look at all possible angles. Run those numbers, my good people. I tell you that all the time till I turn red in the face, right? Run the numbers. Don't just immediately get excited for something and start spending money you don't have because of something that may happen. Don't. Run the numbers. Get with your tax professional, your CPA, whomever you need to get with. If you don't have one, holler at your favorite uncle, cousin. I don't mind helping you out. Run the numbers and make sure it makes sense. And until then, if you got value from this, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you give a thumbs up and hit that bell icon notification as I be doing videos like this all the time. Man, I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Leave it in the comments. Did you understand? Was it explained? Did that right? Did y'all hate my handwriting? Let me know. I just want to go ahead and hear from you. So until then, my good people, know that I love you, and I will see you in the next video.